Welcome to Nevermore Stories in this special Christmas edition. Like or comment if you'd like to see more. Once upon a time, in the frosty expanse of the North Pole, a whimsical and absurd version of Santa Claus, affectionately called Old Nick by his rebellious elves, reigned over a workshop teeming with chaos. The elves, usually diligent and merry, had grown tired of their candy cane quotas and the incessant jingling of sleigh bells that served as the perpetual soundtrack to their work. On a particularly frigid night, as the elves huddled together in their miniature bunkers, discontent ripened into full-blown rebellion. Jingleberry, the perpetually disgruntled head elf, climbed atop an overturned toy chest using a twisted candy cane as a makeshift microphone. "Listen up, comrades," Jingleberry's high-pitched voice cut through the frosty air. "We demand a revolution, shorter hours, dental benefits, and for the love of sugar plums, a break from jingle bells." The elves erupted into cheers, crafting picket signs with slogans like, "Elves are not candy dispensers," and "Jingle bells must die." In a peppermint-flavored rebellion, they marched toward Santa's office, ready to confront the rotund ruler of the North Pole. Unbeknownst to Santa, who was reveling in the revelry of his once dignified reindeer-turned-sleigh crew, a rambunctious group with a newfound penchant for holiday spirits, a rebellion was brewing in his workshop. Rudolph, the erstwhile leader, now with a nose glowing more from the remnants of spiked eggnog than Christmas magic, led the crew in a questionable rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Santa, in a state of perpetual jolliness and possibly mild inebriation, joined the festivities, showcasing a dance that could only be described as a blend of the cha-cha and the moonwalk with a dash of disco. The naughty and nice list lay forgotten, trampled by the hooves of inebriated reindeer. Amidst this festive chaos, Mrs. Claus emerged as the true queen of indulgence. Frosty Plaza, the North Pole's only shopping district, bore the scars of her extravagant spending sprees. Elves, bedecked in glittering bow ties and pointy shoes, struggled to keep pace with Mrs. Claus's insatiable desire for holiday bling. "More glitter, more baubles, I want my snow boots to outshine the northern lights," Mrs. Claus declared, her voice echoing through the once peaceful Frosty Plaza, now transformed into a chaotic shopping battleground. As the elves, reindeer, and Mrs. Claus reveled in their respective rebellions, Santa found himself caught in a storm of absurdity. Little did he know the elves were marching toward his office, picket signs in hand and a disgruntled jingle in their hearts. "Santa," Jingleberry declared, a picket sign serving as a makeshift gavel. "We demand dental benefits and an end to jingle bells. Oh, and while you're at it, maybe consider a gym membership for that dance routine of yours." Santa, eyes twinkling with confusion, attempted to negotiate. "How about an extra cookie break and a coupon for dance lessons? We need to keep the holiday spirit alive, you know." As negotiations stumbled along, a mysterious figure in a striped suit and top hat appeared. The holiday auditor, a stickler for festive balance, conducted an impromptu inspection. "The joy-to-absurdity ratio is dangerously imbalanced," the holiday auditor declared, inspecting the chaos with a raised eyebrow. "Elves innovate, reindeer synchronize soberly." Mrs. Claus turned Frosty Plaza into a spectacle of extravagance. Determined to regain control, the North Pole denizens embraced the challenge. The elves, now donning stylish pointy hats that read "Elf Liberation Now," transformed the workshop into a dazzling spectacle of flying toy drones, candy cane catapults, and self-wrapping presents that occasionally exploded for added excitement. The once inebriated sleigh crew took up competitive snow sculpting. Rudolph, embracing sobriety, sculpted an intricate ice sleigh complete with miniature inebriated elves stumbling out of a frosty tavern. The snow sculpting contest soon turned into a chaotic blend of artistry and reindeer shenanigans. Mrs. Claus, having exhausted Frosty Plaza's offerings, decided to organize a charity fashion show. The runway, constructed from recycled toy packaging, featured elves strutting in candy cane stilettos, tinsel-inspired gowns, and hats adorned with miniature toy soldiers. The fashion show, however, took an unexpected turn when a mischievous imp named Snickerdoodle unleashed exploding candy cane confetti, turning the runway into a dazzling battlefield of glitter and chaos. As the impish chaos ensued, Santa, ever the master of ceremonies, embraced the absurdity. "Well, this wasn't in the workshop manual, but let's roll with it. It's the North Pole, after all." On Christmas Eve, as the unconventional crew prepared for their global journey, Snickerdoodle decided to join the festive fun. The sleigh, now leaving a trail of twinkling stardust courtesy of the imp's mischievous magic, soared into the night sky. The mischievous imp, now an honorary member of the North Pole festivities, rode on the back of Rudolph's sleigh. Snow confetti filled the air, pranks were played on passing clouds, and the holiday magic took a detour into the realm of absurdity. And so, as the legend of the unconventional North Pole unfolded, the tale of Santa's darkly humorous adventures, the rebellious elves, the sober mostly reindeer, Mrs. Claus's extravagant excesses, and the impish chaos of Snickerdoodle became a cherished story passed down through the ages. In the whimsical town of Tinselville, where candy canes grew like weeds and the snow sparkled with the magic of Christmas, the spirit of the season prevailed in the most uproarious and entertaining ways imaginable. The North Pole, with its unique blend of dark humor and festive absurdity, continued to celebrate Christmas with laughter, love, and a touch of irreverence for generations to come, as the North Pole settled into its newfound tradition of delightful absurdity. The story of that fateful rebellion became a cornerstone of festive folklore. The elves, once confined by routine, now reveled in their creative freedom. Jingleberry, who had become the elf equivalent of a rock star, led the workshop with a sense of pride and mischief. The sleigh crew, having mastered the art of synchronized snow sculpting, embarked on a mission to spread their unique brand of artistic chaos to the farthest corners of the globe. No snowman or ice sculpture was safe from their mischievous touch. Mrs. Claus, having exhausted the shopping possibilities of Frosty Plaza, turned her attention to transforming the North Pole into a winter wonderland of opulence. Every corner of the workshop was adorned with twinkling lights, glittering ornaments, and luxurious holiday decorations. She even convinced Santa to trade in his classic red suit for a custom-designed, crystal-encrusted ensemble that could rival the stars. As for Snickerdoodle, the mischievous imp reveled in his newfound role as the North Pole's official troublemaker. From playing pranks on the abominable snowman to organizing impromptu snowball fights, Snickerdoodle infused the once-staid North Pole with an irrepressible sense of fun. The holiday auditor, satisfied with the newfound equilibrium of joy and absurdity, continued to make sporadic visits to ensure that the festive balance remained intact. His mysterious presence became a source of anticipation and amusement, with the residents of the North Pole turning each inspection into a spectacle of creativity and humor. One particularly chilly winter, a group of adventurous humans stumbled upon the North Pole. Led by a fearless explorer named Holly Jollyheart, they marveled at the enchanting spectacle of the unconventional Christmas village. Holly, with a twinkle in her eye, declared, "This is the most extraordinary place on earth. I must share this story with the world." And so the tale of the rebellious elves, the sober, mostly reindeer, Mrs. Claus's extravagant excesses, and the impish chaos of Snickerdoodle reached far beyond the Arctic Circle. The legend of the unconventional North Pole became a beloved holiday story, bringing joy and laughter to people around the world. As the years passed, the North Pole continued to embrace its unique blend of dark humor, festive absurdity, and a touch of irreverence. Old Nick, once a symbol of tradition, became a legendary figure whose exploits were celebrated with each passing Christmas. However, as the festivities reached new heights, so did the tensions among the North Pole residents. The elves, now accustomed to their newfound freedom, began to experience the stress of creative chaos. Jingleberry, once the hero of the rebellion, found himself overwhelmed by the responsibility of leading a workshop where every day was a whimsical adventure. The sleigh crew, fueled by their competitive spirit, started to clash over the perfect snow sculpture. Arguments erupted, and what was once a synchronized dance of creativity turned into a chaotic battle of artistic egos. Mrs. Claus, with her penchant for extravagance, found herself on the receiving end of outraged glares from elves who had once admired her sense of style. The glittering baubles and twinkling lights, once a source of delight, now seemed excessive and overwhelming. Even Snickerdoodle, the impish troublemaker, began to sense the strain in the North Pole air. His pranks, once greeted with laughter, now elicited irritated sighs and eye rolls from the residents. Concerned about the escalating tensions, Holly Jollyheart, the fearless explorer, decided to intervene. She gathered the North Pole residents and proposed a radical idea: counseling sessions for everyone. "Embracing creativity and chaos is wonderful," Holly explained, "but it's essential to find a balance. Let's address the stress and conflicts before they jeopardize the magic of the North Pole." The proposal was met with skepticism, but as tensions continued to rise, the residents reluctantly agreed to give it a try. Holly, with a heart full of optimism, brought in a team of counselors, chemical dependency rehabilitation specialists, and anger management experts to address the unique challenges of the North Pole. The elves, initially resistant to the idea of counseling, found solace in sharing their concerns with empathetic listeners. Jingleberry, burdened by the weight of leadership, discovered that he wasn't alone in his struggles. The counselors helped him develop strategies to manage the workshop without stifling the newfound creativity. The sleigh crew, guided by the rehabilitation specialists, embarked on a journey of sobriety. Rudolph, once the life of the party, faced the reality of his dependency on spiked eggnog. With the support of his fellow reindeer and the rehabilitation experts, he embraced a healthier lifestyle, setting an example for the rest of the crew. Mrs. Claus, confronted with the consequences of her extravagant excesses, attended counseling sessions to explore the underlying reasons for her shopping sprees. The counselors helped her find healthier outlets for her creativity and taught her to appreciate the simple joys of the season. Snickerdoodle, the mischievous imp, engaged in anger management sessions to channel his pranks in more positive directions. The counselors, recognizing the imp's potential for spreading joy, encouraged him to use his mischief for lighthearted fun rather than causing conflict. As the counseling sessions unfolded, the North Pole residents began to experience a transformative change. The once stressed elves found renewed joy in their work. The sleigh crew embraced a more harmonious approach to their artistic endeavors. Mrs. Claus discovered fulfillment in moderation, and Snickerdoodle channeled his mischief into delightful surprises that brought laughter without causing chaos. The holiday auditor, observing the positive transformation, nodded in approval. The festive balance was being restored, not through rebellion and chaos, but through self-discovery and mutual understanding. Holly Jollyheart, satisfied with the progress, addressed the North Pole residents. "You've shown resilience and a commitment to the magic of Christmas. By embracing counseling and rehabilitation, you've not only preserved the whimsical spirit of the North Pole, but also strengthened the bonds that make this place truly extraordinary." And so, as the legend of the unconventional North Pole continued, a new chapter unfolded, one of resilience, growth, and the triumph of joy over discord. The tale of Santa's darkly humorous adventures, the rebellious elves, the sober, mostly reindeer, Mrs. Claus's extravagant excesses, and the impish chaos of Snickerdoodle became not only a cherished story passed down through the ages, but also a testament to the resilience of the holiday spirit. In the whimsical town of Tinselville, where candy canes grew like weeds and the snow sparkled with the magic of Christmas, the spirit of the season prevailed in the most uproarious, entertaining, and now harmonious ways imaginable. The North Pole, with its unique blend of dark humor, festive absurdity, and newfound self-discovery, continued to celebrate Christmas with laughter, love, and a touch of irreverence for generations to come. Thank you for watching this Christmas edition of Nevermore Stories. If you're as deranged as I am, please consider sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe.